NFL Week 2, let's get after it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Keg, back with an NFL Week 2 video. We're going to talk some plays that I like here. I think there's some spots we can jump on. The big news is CMC is out, so that definitely opens up things for Mason once again. I feel like they knew he was going to be out for the longest, so it's one thing you got to love about daily fantasy sports. You don't have to tilt with those season-long stuff like that, but we'll dive into it. If you want to join along, I'm actually going to build a 6-man here with that Caleb Williams free square that they got. So we'll put up 6 plays here for Sunday main slate, and we'll dive right into it. But if you want to join us, use that promo code CashKeg and get yourself $50 instantly for just playing $5. And if you're a first-time depositor, you also get access to a free 30 days of our elite membership over at dailyedgesports.com. And with that, let's dive into it. All right, as you can tell, I have the PrizePicks desktop up here. Again, we're going to build a 6-man here. Usually I give like 3 plays out. Apologize for not getting this video out earlier yesterday, but I kind of really wanted to know this news. I didn't think CMC was going to play, and I really think that there's some spots we can take advantage of in this situation. So, Love being out really hurts Green Bay, which I think opens up some things on the Indianapolis side. So we'll start with the Caleb Williams free square, and we'll build 5 plays off of this. And the first one, I think we could go 2 really off the bat that are super popular plays, but I understand why. Jonathan Taylor, really anytime touchdown here. I think you go more than this. I really like Indianapolis to kind of put it to Green Bay here. I'm surprised this line is not heavier than it is. It's only at, I think it's -3, and I think it should be closer to -7. I don't understand why it's not higher. I know it's in Green Bay, but they got, Love's going to be out, and they're turning the ball over to Willis, and he is not a great quarterback. I think he's going to make some mistakes. Colts have one of the better offensive lines in the league. They should be able to move the ball pretty easily. We saw what, the Eagles and Barkley did to Green Bay week 1. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but I think there's ways for success here, for Jonathan Taylor to get in the end zone, going up against Green Bay here. So I kind of like this play. I understand why it's popular, but I think for good reason, as I think that the Colts should have the ball quite often here. If it was at home, I'd even love it even more, but on the road, I still think they're going to have the ball a ton. I think Willis is going to make some mistakes and turn that ball over. So we'll go higher there. And then the other one I like a lot too is J.K. Dobbins. Again, with Jim Harbaugh coming in town, they're going to run the ball a ton, right? And Carolina just looks bad. I mean, just bad up and down. Bryce Young looks completely lost. And I get, as long as, Jim Harbaugh is going to be the coach, they're going to play defense. They're going to run the ball. So J.K. Dobbins, I think he gets in the end zone here. Again, I understand why that is a popular play. The next one we're going to go to is we're going to head on over to Jordan Mason. I think this is just a little too light for him fantasy score-wise and rush attempts. I think either one of these you can kind of go after. With CMC out, we saw what he did against the Jets on opening night here, and he just kind of absolutely crushed it. I mean, against a tough Jets defense, put up 147 rush yards against them. This line, rushing line opened up at 69.5. It's already pushed to 74.5. Now, I'm not expecting him for a run for 147 again, but he looked good running the ball. And I have a hard time thinking, this is a better matchup for him. So it's like this line should be closer to 17 or 18. I think this is 3 or 4 points off. I'm perfectly fine playing this thing up to 16.5, 17. No issues there at all. And the rush attempts were crazy. He saw 28 rush attempts against the Jets. I'm not expecting that, but it wouldn't surprise me to see him at that 20 rush attempt mark. Really didn't have to do a whole lot in the receptions. only had one target, caught one ball. I'm not expecting that at him, but if he gets in the end zone, he gets you 80 yards. He's right at that 14 fantasy score mark. And if he gets a couple catches out of the backfield, we'll see that as well. We'll see Debo back there as well, but I still think that is too low for him. But if you want to go rush attempts, that would be the other one that I do like, would be Jordan Mason, 17.5 rush attempts. Next one we're going to go to, one thing I love about PrizePicks is with these targets. 7.5 reception targets for Amari Cooper, I absolutely love here. Just because the matchup's fantastic. It's going up against Jacksonville here. They allow a ton of targets to receivers. And, my big issue with Cooper is not so much him as a talent, is who's throwing him the ball. Watson has just not been an accurate quarterback at all. But in this same matchup last year, going up against Jacksonville, where, again, they struggle with wide receivers, he was able to have 14 targets that game. So I kind of like a bounce back spot for him. The targets I like just because, again, we saw 9 against Dallas, but he only had 2 receptions, right? Against Jacksonville last year, he had 14 targets, only saw 7 receptions. So I like the 7.5 targets. I think you can play this up to 9. It just feels a little light in a spot where I think they should be throwing the ball here against Jacksonville. And I think it's a good spot for him. So Amari Cooper, 7.5 receptions would be, the next play that we kind of look at there. So we got Mason, Dobbins. Where is Taylor? There's 5. So the next play we can throw in here for with the free square. And I really liked Garrett Wilson, but the line has moved on this one. If you were in our Discord, we got this at 5.5. I love the 5.5 for him going up at Tennessee. Aaron Rodgers talked really highly of him on Pat McAfee's show and talked about, just how he needs to get him the ball more. So I do like that. Targets at 9.5. I think you could easily throw that one in there as well. I do like that one. So I'm torn between Garrett Wilson. I'm torn between Breece Hall here. I think both are great plays. Again, I prefer the 5.5 reception, but I do think he's going to continue to feed him the ball. Like I love his upside here. So I'm going to go Garrett Wilson, 9.5 targets here. Again, he saw 11 last week against San Francisco, and Aaron Rodgers didn't even play most of that fourth quarter. So I think we're going to see double-digit targets for him most of the year. He's just the alpha in this wide receiver core. Again, if you don't like Wilson, I think the other one for me is Breece Hall over 18.5 fantasy score. That would be the other one I would go after. But I do like Wilson here. I do like the targets. I really think that they're going to keep getting him involved. If you wanted to go fantasy score at 15, I think that's a play as well. He should get in the box here soon. But overall, I'm super high on Wilson and Aaron Rodgers in this game. I like the Jets in this game. I think there's a lot of ways you can go with it. So those are the plays I would go with if you're going for this 6-pack here with the free square of Caleb Williams. Again, use that promo code CashKeg. Get yourself $50 instantly if you play $5. And also, you get a free month of our Daily Edge Sports, which if you head on over to our projection EV tool, which you get with your Elite subscription, you'll get all of our custom projections and kind of see where we are at with things, not with just the line, but everything else we get with our projections. So head on over, check us out. With that, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.